Hey guys, it's Grimdark Tiggy and welcome back to Theme Park Tycoon 2, and in this video I'm going to be going over this brand new update which added this 4 seats across floorless coaster, which is very cool. This new roller coaster is pretty much exactly the same as the old 2-seat across floorless coaster with just a couple differences. Obviously you can see the new model, which looks great. The track looks a little bit different. It's got a different color scheme, a very interesting color scheme. I wasn't really expecting to see the yellow and purple and orange, but it looks kind of neat. And I'm not sure if you see right there, there's this really cool station folding out animation, which is pretty cool that they added this because that's actually what happens on real life 4-seat floorless coasters such as Patriot at California's Great America. I went there recently, that's how I know. Um, and yeah, this resembles the real B&M Floorless coasters a lot better than the old ones. And it is pretty similar. It's got almost all the same pieces, except it does have a couple differences. It costs 2,500 instead of 2,000, and if I place it down, you can see it's 2 pieces wide. The trains, that's 4 blocks of station right there, and it can fit 5 cars on the track, so the train size is slightly smaller than 1 block, similar to the original Floorless coaster. But it does have all these boosters and brakes and obviously chain lift. Let me just go this so you can see it can go vertical as well. Obviously it also has 180-degree banking. If I can show that real quick, that would be quite nice. There we go. It can bank 180 degrees, and it's got a lot of these special pieces, including the hold brake, which is also on the floorless coaster. Now, if you're wondering how to get this roller coaster, it's pretty simple. If I go over to the achievements menu, you can see if I scroll down here just a little bit to the A Worthy Park achievement, you can see it'll unlock the floorless coaster with 4 seats across. In order to get that, you just have to get a park value of at least 200,000. So to get that, you just have to keep building stuff in your park until the park value, which is displayed in this little park information menu. You can scroll down, see the park value right here. You want that to say 200,000, or you can go into your settings menu, scroll down a little bit to park info, and you can also see it in statistics down here. Now you may have noticed when I was in the achievements menu that it also mentioned fireworks under the A Worthy Park achievement, and I'm just going to head to the changelog just to go over everything they've added. Obviously, I've already said there's a new roller coaster, the floorless coaster with 4 seats. They also added 6 firework items, which can be activated manually or activated with a trigger or button or timer or sequencer. The Roblox graphics quality and dynamic item quality settings control the quality of fireworks rendering and throttling. And now the advanced coaster editor now supports 2 auto smooth modes, full and yaw/pitch. Full is a new mode which adjusts the roll, the banking of the track as well. I'll show what that is in just a second. There's also some modifications to the private server chat commands. I really should get a private server. That might be a good idea to do at some point. It would also make it so it's always day and time in my videos, so I don't have to worry about that. And then there were just some other changes that aren't too important, and the rest is just bug fixes since the last updates, which I scrolled way too far to read, but whatever. Anyway, I'm going to go and pick up this coaster again for the 4th time and check out the new advanced editor mode. So right now it's on auto smooth full. I'm going to set it to yaw and pitch. So before there was just yaw and pitch, this is a normal mode. It adjusts the way that the track turns, but it keeps the roll at 0. So even when doing something strange like this, it's always just going to be facing with 0 banking. However, if I turn on the full mode and then I move it around, it'll keep the banking the way it was. So if I reset it and then I do the same thing where I lift it up and move it to the side, as you can see, it banks it a little bit to kind of smooth out the track a little bit. It's a bit of a subtle difference, but as you can see, if you look down there, you can see the roll is changing. Also, if I move this, it'll change, and then if I move it this way, it just smooths it out a little bit, which is quite nice. And then the off mode just means that it does no smoothing, so you can lift it up and it'll always stay facing forward. which can lead to a lot of very twisted pieces of track. I might not have done the best job of showing that off, so if you use Advanced Editor and you want to see how that works, I'd recommend going in game and fooling around with it a little bit, because it's a lot easier to understand when you're the one actually moving these pieces around to see what it does. Now let's just ignore the other station I've just placed down and check out the new fireworks. I'm not actually sure which menus they're in. I'd assume props or others actually would make a little bit more sense. And here they are. So we've got 6 different types. I'm just going to head back to achievements for a second, because you can see that if you get a worthy park for a park value of at least $200,000, you'll get the sphere, disc, and flare fireworks, whereas getting a park value of at least $400,000 will give you the trailing sphere, cascaded, and fish fireworks. In the description there will be a link to a video where I give a few more tips on getting serious investments or a worthy park in case you do not have those achievements yet. But the main tip is just to place more rides inside of your park. Anyway, I'm going to be placing down all of these fireworks. They do have varying prices, but I'm not too worried about that, so I'm just going to place them all in a row, going from sphere, disc, trailing sphere, cascaded, fish, and flare. This is not the exact order they're listed in the achievements menu, but that's the order they're listed in this menu, so that's the order I'm going to be going in. It's also turning night, which will make it probably a little bit easier to see the fireworks. So heading over to this first one, you can see there's a button on the side, and if I click it, it'll activate the firework. Didn't really get a good camera angle on that one, so I'm going to try that again. You can look up and it'll fly up and explode. That one was the sphere. This one here, let's see what this one is. That one was the disc. This next one, is this a trailing sphere? Yes it is. That one looks very cool. Then we have, what was that called? The cascaded one. Next up, we've got this one, which is fish, I think. Ooh, that was kind of cool. Yeah, that was fish. And then we've got the last one, which is flare. Ooh, that one's red. That's kind of neat. And it just goes up and burns out like a flare would for an emergency flare. I believe you can also change the colors of these. If you click not on the button, you can change the color of this first part, I think, is the outside of it, and the third one is the button. So these are all for the appearance of the firework launcher. And then you can change the power of the firework in this menu. You can change the color. For example, I'll change this one to red. You can change secondary power. I'm going to make that one way higher for this one. And the secondary color mode actually can have a couple of different ones. I'm going to let this one be random color. And now I'm just going to test this one out and see what it does. It goes up, it's red at first, it explodes into a random color. So if I try that again, it should be a different color this time. Yeah, there we go. So that's pretty cool. And the power, the first power for this one, the primary power defines how high it's going to go, and the secondary power is how big the explosion is going to be. I'd assume it's pretty similar to that for all of them. You can also link these fireworks up to a sequencer or buttons, but I'm not going to bother doing that right now because that gets a little bit complicated. But yep, that's all I have for this video. I'm going to try to activate a couple of these fireworks in the background, since that would be cool if it lets me click it. No! That's all I got for this video. If you enjoyed, you could like, subscribe, check out some of my other videos, or join my Discord server. The link to that is in the description if you're interested. But other than that, just hop in a game and try out these new rides. This Floorless Coaster is really cool, and I will definitely be making some new rides with this one. But yep, that's all I gotta say, so goodbye. Also, for the people who have stayed here after the video, it was very, very painful to record this because my recording software just didn't really like working with Roblox at all. And Roblox decided to not give me the notification for the game update until 8 hours after the release. So that was a little unfortunate, but here's the video, and I think that this is a very, very good update.